Italian juicer, and I've been, you know, changing my lifestyle, and I've been, you know, trying my own homemade yogurt. And I did make a almond the other day where I soaked the almonds and blended it. Didn't like the almonds as much as I like the coconut, and I'm going to try doing it two different ways. What I did is, I got one of these really inexpensive yogurt makers, and all it really is it just kind of keeps it at a constant temperature. But it does come with all the little jars already, which is kind of nice. And then you can make individual yogurts if you want to try different things. But so I'm going to do two different things. First of all, I'm going to try this. What you need is you either get some fresh coconuts. These are the young coconuts. These can get very expensive unless you have good access. I find that the Vietnamese supply places tend to do a little bit better on their pricing because they use a lot more coconut. But they can get expensive, and there's not a lot of meat in these. The other thing I'm going to try is I bought some organic coconut milk, and this is actually a light, so it has less fat. And I'm going to try this, and really all we're going to do with this, and this is like the easy, you know, layman's way of making yogurt, is I got the Jarrow probiotic. It's the 5 billion organisms, and I'm going to go ahead, I don't need a strainer for this, I'm going to go ahead and put 2 cans of coconut milk and 2 capsules of probiotics, and we're going to go ahead and just put that in the blender for just, you know, 10 seconds or so, just enough to blend it, and then we're going to pour those into bottles, and I'm going to mark those, and then we're going to use and show you how to do the fresh coconut. So let's go ahead and blend this real quick. I'll be right back. So that was just a quick little pulse in a blend tech, and so we're going to fill these up. See how many we can get out of 2 cans, and the cans run about $2. Those were about $2.29 at the store I got them at, which is Natural Grocers. You know, you can catch that stuff on sale and do a little. Okay, so that took up 4 jars for just 2 cans. I guess I might have to. I think on the coconut one, we're probably not going to get a whole lot. But let me just go ahead and we'll just pour it in here for now. I might have to use a different jar for the real coconut. So what I did here was have my little handy axe, and I opened up this coconut, and it is completely full of water. I mean, completely, because it's a young coconut, and they have a ton of water in them. So I'm going to go ahead and pour the water. I got a little strainer just to catch some of the maybe fragments that were in there. And what we want to do is we want to scrape the coconut. And what I found is, let me get a spoon. What I found is that it's, you know, it's very, I mean, it's very soft. I mean, it just comes right off. But you just kind of want to make sure you're not getting, you know, the skin with it. So that's pretty good. But see, right now there's a lot of coconut water in there, and it's going to come out really, really thin. So I'm going to see if I can go ahead and split this without hurting myself. Okay, so there's a coconut. You can see there's not a lot of meat in here at all. I mean, there's not. So what you do is you scrape that out. And again, try not to get any of the actual coconut, the shell, you know. So we get that, you know, that really nice meat, and scrape that out. And then what I'm going to do here is, again, I'm just going to try this with one coconut and see, you know, I don't mind it being thin myself, and I'd rather maybe let it culture a little longer and have it creamier. And what I've done is I don't eat a lot of grains, but if, you know, take a whole grain oatmeal, and where all it is just grain, and I put that in there with some fruit, and that makes it nice and thick too. But we're going to give this a try, and then we'll come back in a day or two and see, you know, see the texture of this coconut. And I guess if we have a couple fragments in there, we can probably blend that up. But I think most people will do more coconut and less water, and which is great. It just gets very expensive. And if you know, I didn't show you opening the coconut, but if you do want to take a very good knife and be very careful. I like the axe. It worked really well. I went on 4 corners, you know, a couple of times until I was able, and then I just popped open the lid. So once again, we're going to throw in 2 probiotics into this, and I'm going to, again, I don't think I'm going to have enough room with those jars. I didn't realize that. It's the first time using that thing. You know, the thing is, I've done them in jars before, and you're always trying to find the right temperature, and, you know, and this and that, and it just seemed kind of nice that, you know, you have one little unit that that controls the temperature, and, you know, you're good to go, and it's, you know, it's just more consistent. But we'll give it a shot. I'll let you know if it's worth the crap. But so we're I'm gonna go ahead and blend this up. Give me 1 second. We got that in the blend tech, and let that do its thing, and we'll be ready in a second. So the one thing I did that I would normally not do is I put the probiotic in when I would be before doing the major blending. Normally I would blend it and then put in probiotic, and then I think it's just more effective that way. So we're gonna see what we got here. You can see it's really thin and watery, but it, you know, has a completely different texture than the coconut. So actually, you know what? That just made 2 little jars. You know, so the color is different. The coconut milk in the can is very white. The other one is not as white, maybe because I have a little skin in there. Who knows? But we'll go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and mark those. And we're going to let those culture. I'll plug that in, let it sit, you know, overnight, 12, 24 hours. I don't think it hurts to let it sit a little longer. I think it'll just get a little thicker that way. But I did, if you want to see the almond that I made, so this was just with almonds, and actually I used some almond milk, and this is totally, you know, you can see how thick that is. And, you know, it's good. It, you know, I don't think I blended it because it's a little gritty. But it was very good. You know, I made a yogurt dressing. And you take this, and what I really like about this is you take in, if you got one of the mini blenders, you throw in some cilantro and throw some cucumber, and, you know, you make your own, you know, yogurt dressing with this wonderful probiotic in there, and, you know, for your stomach. So, you know, we'll revisit this when these things thicken up, and give Hello everyone. So a couple days ago I made the other yogurt, and I was trying to see if we can make it with the canned milk to see if it'll culture and thicken up, and we did a fresh coconut. And so this is what I found is that one coconut is not enough to really, there's not enough meat in there. So you need to blend it with something else or do another coconut, at least the meat, but not all the water, and then you can drink the water or do something else with the water because there's a lot of water in these coconuts. And the coconuts are these, you know, the young coconuts here. So the stuff that was made in the with the coconut milk, it had a nasty smell to it. I didn't even want to drink it. I just dumped it all. So all those jars I made, threw it away. The stuff with the coconut milk was actually quite delicious, but it was really, really runny. And so I added some organic oats to it, and that thickened it up, and some fruit, and it was actually pretty good. So since then, I made another batch, and I'm just going to tell you what I did, and I think this is really, really good. What I did is I took 2 coconuts with the water and both, and I took basically 8 ounces of almonds that you soak in water. And when you soak them in water, you can just pinch off the skins. So so what I did is, I got about 8 ounces of almonds all skinned, and then I put in 3 capsules of the probiotic, the Jarrow. I showed you in the last one, but it would be this one right here. And I put in 2 capsules of probiotic, and I blended it all up, and then I put them in these, you know, I put them in pint jars, and I have to say, the consistency, I don't know if you can see this or not, the consistency is perfect. I mean, now when you make yogurt, just so you know, it's going to have a little sour. It's almost going to taste a little sour when it's plain. But you know, I've been doing with a little, when it's really, if you do make it and it's a little watery, then you can add some oatmeal. I add a little agave nectar. You know, it's really delicious, and it's got all the live cultures in it. It's all organic. There's no chemicals, so it's quite delicious. So what I did is, after I blended it up, I put it in these jars, and that little yogurt maker that I bought, I think, wow, what a piece of crap, I'm going to throw this thing in the trash. You know, actually it works really great, because all this is a little warming plate. So I put my jars on there, and it looks like I probably put 4 of them out at a time if I wanted to. And I put the lid on, and there's a little gap, but bottom line is, you just want to keep that warmness to get it to culture. And I let it go for about 12 hours, and I have to say that it expanded to the top, so you know that the cultures were working. So I probably need to use a little less next time. But I kind of like this, because before I was trying to find a place that's the right temperature, you know, and this and that, and this little yogurt thing works really, really well. So to make, in my opinion, I've tried a bunch of different yogurts and watched a lot of recipes. 2 young coconuts with both water. Make sure you strain it. 8 ounces or half a pound of raw almonds. Soak them overnight. Soak them for a couple of days. They do tend to grow, so give some room in there. Take the skins off. Blend that all up. Put in 2 or even 3 capsules of probiotic. Mix that up. Pour that into your containers. And you know, I let it sit for 8 to 12 hours, and then put it in the fridge, and you're good to go. So hopefully that'll help you. I actually threw a lot of stuff away, and I was trying to do some stuff, and bottom line is, real coconut, real almonds. You could do one or the other. I love the combination of both, because the almonds just kind of thicken it up. And this is really thick, so maybe next time I'll use a little less almond, because I do like it a little thinner. Sometimes I like putting a little oats in there, just a little bit, because it helps you feel full. And as of today, since February 1st, and today is April 12th, I've lost 31 pounds by, you know, juicing and, you know, various things that I've done and making yogurt and making cultured vegetables. And I am having another video where I will show you how I made all my cultured vegetables. You know, so all stuff that have natural probiotics that are just good for your stomach. If your digestive system is working right, you know, everything works right. Your colon works. You know, there's so many things. You know, when people ask what I've done to lose weight, and it's not one thing. I got rid of processed foods. I'm eating organic. I'm doing wheatgrass in the morning. I'm juicing during the day. My red meat or proteins have cut down dramatically. You know, just a lot of things. And one other thing is, you saw me use an axe last time. I did go out and get a cleaver. It's a good investment. Again, be careful. Always keep your hands away. You know, so you don't want to lose a finger here. So I hope this information is helpful for you. I will keep you posted. For me personally, I want to try losing about another 17 pounds. That would be about 48 pounds from where I started. And I hope I can get there, but you know, 31 pounds, you know, and I'm not hungry. I'm eating good, and a lot of these fruits are free foods. So you know, you just got to limit your fruit, but fruit is good. You know, just don't juice too much of it because there's a lot of sugar, but keep the fiber in the fruit, and that helps in the absorption of all the sugar. All right, well, you have a great day, and we'll see you soon.